Well, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Medeaij, and today's video is going to be a slightly different type of video. I don't normally do like categories of shadows or blushes and stuff like that, but today I'm going to be sharing with you guys 15 eyeshadow palettes that are perfect for fall that I'm sure you probably have, or you've had your eye on, or you should have in your collection. So in the UK, we don't call it fall, we call it autumn, but that's by the by. Fall, autumn, 15 eyeshadow palettes, Lego. Right, before we actually start the video, please make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Give this bell a thumbs up because you're gonna love it, and turn on your notification bell so you know when I upload a video. Da, 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 da. But yeah, enough fooling. I'm just really vibing right now because this look, I used one of the palettes that I just had to slip in. Initially I had 14 shadows, and then I did the look and I was like, yeah, this is going in as number 15. So we got a bonus 15. But yeah, let's just jump in no particular order. I'm just gonna grab and talk, okay? So the first shadow is from Juvia's Place, and this is the Nomad by Juvia's Place. Now the reason why I love the color story of this palette is a no-brainer. You've got like, these are perfect autumn shades for me. You've got that burnt orange type of tan color, you've got the olive green, you've got the darker green, you've got gorgeous shimmer shades. It's such a well-rounded autumn palette. I haven't used this palette yet, but obviously I've seen reviews and I've seen people do gorgeous looks with it. So for me, it's a definite must-have. If you don't already have it in your collection, I'll be fully surprised, because Juvia's Place are known for doing discounts and people tend to pick up a lot of their palettes at once. But yeah, if this one isn't on your radar, then it definitely should be. It's a palette I would easily take into winter as well, just because of the brown and the olive in there as well. So yeah, it's a well-rounded palette. I also love the packaging. It's almost like Halloween type of inspired type of look going on with her. It's just such a beautiful packaging. So yeah, I do love this palette, and I can't wait to actually do a look using this palette, so watch out for that. Next one is also from another indie brand, and this is from Setify, and this is the Affinity 2 Dream Without Fear, Love Without Limits. It's what it says on the packaging, and the color story is everything, guys. Like, this is the palette. You've got blues, purples, and then you've got the greens. I know some people are just gonna be like, girl, that doesn't look like autumn, but it's kind of like autumn for me, just because I'm gonna do one or two swatches, just because shades like this one, like that duochrome effect, just gives me like winter cold type of vibes. You've also got this shade, which again gives me like that icy shift type of look to it. So if you cover up the blues, for me this is a definite autumn palette, and I can easily transition it into winter just because of those blue shades. So yeah, if you guys haven't picked up anything from Setify, I definitely recommend this eyeshadow palette. The colors are very pigmented, the shadows blend easily, you've got that gorgeous olive green shade smack in the middle, and it's just, yeah, the palette is well rounded, very well thought through, and the colors work seamlessly. So the next palette that I've got is from Makeup Obsession, and this is the collaboration palette with Raddy. So this is the Raddy Dusk shadow palette, and this is what the shades look like. I should zoom in for you guys to actually see the palettes properly. So this is the color story of this one, and those pans are magnetized, which means you can pop them out and put them in your Z palette, or put them in your book of shadows from Color Drain if you've got it. But yeah, this is what it looks. And I like this palette because again, that olive green, you guys know I love my greens, but then these dark shades, kind of like remind me of winter time. You've got these berry shades with, if you put a black base and you put this on top, it becomes really dark and wine and bloody looking. And then you've got this beautiful copper type of shades. You've got warmer brown to blend everything in. For me, this is a very beautiful winter inspired eyeshadow palette, so it's a great transition from autumn into winter, and it's so inexpensive and the pigmentation is bomb. I absolutely love it. Next one is another indie brand, and this is OPV. This is the Yemoja palette. Now my palette is quite old. I've had this palette for a couple of years now, and pigmentation isn't as good as it used to be, so I probably need to pick up a new one. But the color story is still everything, guys. Like, what? That is the color story. Look at the size of those pans. Like, again, you've got the red winter type of, sorry, again, you've got the red autumn berry type of rich tones. You've got the green for a really nice emerald type of look. You've got browns to deepen the crease. You've got this blood type of color. Imagine that with a black base as well. It's just, for me, screams autumn. Like, if you cover that blue shade up and just look at the palette, like, yes, absolutely stunning. I think you guys can see this one quite nicely. I don't need to show you a close-up, but yeah, I love it. And this color, guys, can be used as a highlighter. It is so pretty. I'm sure I'll still swatch, but it's so freaking pretty that you can use it as a highlighter. It gives you like that rose gold type of effect that I live for. So yeah, absolutely stunning palette. Next one that I've got is the Yaya palette. Now this is from Mayali Beauty. I recently did a review of the Juvia and the Yaya palette from Mayali Beauty, which I will link in the cards and also in the description box. But this is newer to my collection, but I have tested it and the pigmentation is there and it's very, very pretty, and the color story is just as beautiful. You've got green shade in there, you've got orange, you've got those nice brown shades up there, and you've got that dark brown shade as well. So I've got swatches up of this palette in that video, so I will just link the video in case if you're interested in knowing more about this palette. But for me, this is such a beautiful, warm, earthy type of eyeshadow palette, and it's one that I gravitate towards during autumn. Again, then indie, they used to be Blush Stripe, but now they're Mayali Beauty, so yeah, definitely check them out. Love the packaging as well. Next one I've got is from September Rose, and this is the Brew palette. Now September Rose Cosmetics made the Slush palette, the Slush 2 palette, and they're the ones that created this palette as well. Again, packaging already screams warmth. You've got that gorgeous melanin skin with a cup of brew, girl. Like, yes. And the color story, guys, is tell me this doesn't scream autumn. Like, you've got gold, black, look at that shade there, the almond shade is so pretty. You've got your yellow, you've got orange, you've got the warmth in there. Very beautiful autumn palette. For me, all year round palette because it's neutral and you can get a multitude of looks using this eyeshadow palette, and you've got that all essential black to kind of deepen up any look that you're going for, so to give it a smoky effect. Plus those gold shades are so pigmented and so pretty. Definitely check them out. I do have a discount code for September Rose Medeaij, which will give you 10% off your shop. That's an affiliate code, which means that if you use my code, I make a little bit of money, but there is no extra cost to you. You're just helping me grow my channel, grow my business, and it'll be much appreciated. For the Mayali Beauty, I also do have a discount code, which is Medeaij, but that's not an affiliate code, so just use it to save yourself some money if you are interested in the palette. So, but for me, this is a beauty. I have been using this palette off camera as well, so I do love it. So I've got one from Belle Makeup. Belle Makeup are an indie black owned brand as well. Actually, I should mention September Rose is a black owned brand. OPV is a black owned brand. We know Juvia's Place is a black owned brand, just in case if you wanted to know. Sorry. But yeah, Belle Makeup, they're a black owned brand. They're based in the UK, and this is the Magnifique palette. And the reason why I love this again is because it's got those earthy tones. You've got those greens, you've got orange, you've got the pinks, you've got that berry shade in the middle. I've used this shade to create a one eyeshadow type of look, and gosh, it was so beautiful. If I can find pictures of these looks, I'll pop them up on screen. But honestly guys, these green shades and that zest color, this one, this regal shade, oh, I'm gonna swatch that one for you guys just so that you can see. Look at my finger, it's crazy intense. So this palette definitely screams fall, autumn for me. It's just really warm, very, very beautiful color story. Next up, I've got another one from Juvia's Place, and this is the Tribe palette. Now, I'm not sure if Juvia's Place is discontinuing this palette or if it has already been discontinued, but I haven't seen it much on their website. And this is what it looks like on the inside. Again, you guys know the kinds of colors that I associate with autumn is the greens, the orange, the browns, the dark reds. So again, you've got beautiful green shades, you've got that orange shade. This shade Chaga is so beautiful on the lid. That one as well is so gorgeous on the lid. And you've got these beautiful two green shades kind of blend out. Sun, which is at the bottom. So again, a really, really beautiful palette, which I'm sure a lot of people will already have in their collection. So definitely whip her out and use her for the autumn months. The next one is from Makeup Revolution, and this is the I Heart Makeup Chocolate Orange Palette. Now, I had to pop this one in because Makeup Revolution have been coming out with really, really fun eyeshadow palettes, but there was a time when things were like themed, and this one, oh, it's just such a beautiful color story. You've got orange in there, you've got that dark brown in there, you've got these gold shades. Like, this palette might look boring to you guys, but trust me, the pigmentation is there, and it's a very, very beautiful palette on the eye, where like when you blend out those colors, it's just absolutely stunning. So if you haven't picked up this palette, I'm just gonna do swatches on my hand just so that you guys can see what I'm talking about in terms of pigmentation. Like, this palette is very pigmented for Revolution. Like, it's really, really pigmented, and I absolutely love it. So definitely check it out. Again, very inexpensive, and I'm sure quite a few people already have this baby in their collection, but I've probably forgotten all about her. So bring her out for autumn months and use her up. At this point, I just want to say to you guys, like, these are not my best of the best in my entire collection because I do have such a big collection, but I was able to pick out these palettes with no problem, just from the top of my head. Like, I could just pick them out, but I could definitely pick out more from my collection. That's how insane my collection is. So yeah, the next one is from Melt, and this is the Gemini palette. Now, I do have a review using this palette and also the Smoke Obsessions palette, and I'm not a fan of the shimmer shades. Like, absolutely not a fan. But the reason why I put this one in today's video is because there are only 2 shimmer shades in this palette, and so I can live with that. So you've only got 2 shimmer shades, and I'll just avoid using them, and I'll just use the matte shades instead. So again, you've got those beautiful olive green shades, you've got that nice custard looking shade, you've got your orange shades here, and you've got that all essential black shade. Like, this palette, even the packaging screams like autumn, leaves are falling type of color story. So it is very beautiful. If only that shimmer shade just wasn't so crumbly on the lid. It's just so beautiful. I know if there are people that have figured out how to work with it, but I honestly don't feel like you should have to put in so much work to get a shimmer shade or a foil shade to work. Like, if it doesn't work with your finger and it doesn't work with a brush, like a standard brush, then to me it's just not versatile. I shouldn't have to buy a sponge applicator brush just to make it work. Like, no. But I do love the matte shades in this palette. Next up, I had to chuck this guy in because this is one of my favorite Morphe eyeshadow palettes, and this is the 35M Bust Mood palette. Yes, like everyone knows this palette. This palette is everything. I've used it so much. I absolutely love the color story. I appreciate the way it was combined. You've got purples, blacks, reds, green. This palette is a one-stop shop. Like, you literally do not need any other eyeshadow palette for autumn and even the winter months. If you've got this palette, you are locked in. Like, you can do neutral looks, you can do the green looks, orange looks, reds, purples. Such a beautiful, well put together eyeshadow palette, and it's one that I'm so happy I have in my collection. And even if it goes bad, I will still repurchase this palette because it's a well-rounded, well-balanced eyeshadow palette. So for me, this one would definitely make it to one of my top 5 autumn eyeshadow palettes because it's just so versatile, so well-rounded. So yes. Another one from Morphe is the 35G Bronze Goals palette. Now, this palette didn't get that much love when it came out, but I picked up the entire collection and I absolutely love it. Like, I still use my bronzer from this collection, and they've even made more shades off the back of that. That goes to show you how good the bronzer is. But this is the palette, and for me, this is your neutral palette, perfect for the season, perfect for winter, perfect for all year round, to be honest. But then you've got those berry shades which kind of give you that extra warmth. This is another palette that if you've got it, you don't need any other neutral palettes for the winter months, for the autumn months. This palette will have you locked down. It's such a beautiful color story, well put together shades, and I absolutely love it. Like, look at that shade. That is such a beauty. Absolutely love this palette. Next up, I've got the BPerfect Clientele palette by Ja. So this is Ja makeup artist. She did a collaboration with BPerfect, and I haven't used this palette, but again, I've watched reviews of it. I've just not had time to use it. But what I want to say to you guys is, if you cover the bottom half of the palette, you've got your balance of neutral shades, you've got your berry tones, you've got that green, you've got the olive green next to it, and it's such a beautiful color story. Very, very beautiful color story. And BPerfect are known for really intense eyeshadows and pigmentation. The colors will blend beautifully, and I'm pretty sure this palette is awesome. I just haven't had time to use her yet, so, but I just had to pop her in there because the color story for me was just, yeah, very autumn specific. Like, I just love it. And then the bottom shades kind of speak like winter, January, February type of, you know, type of colors. Very soft, subtle pinks and neutrals and whites and stuff like that. So yeah, love that one. And the last eyeshadow palette that I have is the Day Day Signature Kiwi palette, and this is the collaboration palette with Danielle. And I literally just did a review using this eyeshadow palette. So this is what it looks like on the inside. Again, you've got the greens and yellow, and you've got that all essential black. I will link the video in the description box and also in the cards. I'm not sure which one's gonna go up first, if it's this one or if it's that video. Either way, I will link it for you guys to go and watch. But yeah, I did swatches and I gave you guys my full thoughts about the eyeshadow palette. So yeah. Whew. So that is 15 fall ready, autumn ready eyeshadow palettes from my collection. I really want to see what you guys have in your collection. Comment down below what eyeshadow palettes you are gravitating towards for the autumn and winter months, and let's see if we've got palettes in common. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if there's any other eyeshadow tag or eyeshadow collection type of tag that you guys want to see, and I'll be more than happy to go into my collection. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Remember, God doesn't like ugly, and remember that Black Lives Matter, and I will catch you guys in a future video.